Hello friends, welcome back to the second session. So on the last session we had talked about the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic age, Neolithic revolution, the start of the civilization. So today we will look into the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so we will just have a glance through the important sites of the Indus Valley civilization, its culture, its tradition, its religion, and also its geographical location, the important sites, and things in general necessary for an academic perspective. So, when you remember about the Indus Valley civilization, okay, so it is not just something that is resorted to the Indus and its tributaries actually. So, in the north, it is as far as Manda, that is in the Jammu region, and as south as the Surat, and east as the Alamgirpur, and on the western side you find it the western boundary at the Sukta Jandor, that is in the near the Makran coast, that is in the present day Beluchistan. So Indus Valley. So now let's look into what kind of civilization it was, how it kind of evolved. Okay, so you have to understand when after, particularly after the Neolithic revolution, large civilizations always were the part and parcel of the human migration, and as a result of the migration there was a large scale settlement in the river valleys, and in the river valleys that small settlements later became metamorphosized into big towns, urban centers, and subsequently what happened is the trade and commerce got developed, and that is when the culture, so small village culture got developed into civilizations. Okay, so when it comes to the Indus Valley, what are the important things that you have to understand? First of all, it was an urban civilization, right? It was an urban civilization and it had all the elements of an urban civilization. And what about the religion? So religion, when it comes to the Indus Valley, we have quite a few things, so quite a few traits regarding the religion thing, because there is evidence of worship of bull is there. Okay, and the phallus worship evidence is, phallus means linga, that is Shivalinga type of phallus worship evidence is there, and also we have evidences of fire altar that is found in the Kali Bangan, that is in the present day Rajasthan. Kali Bangan literally means black bangles. So in the Kali Bangan we have evidences of the fire worship thing that you can find. And also if you see, whenever you learn about Indus Valley, one important thing that you will always remember is the great bath in the Mohenjo-daro. Okay, so when it comes to the Indus Valley civilization, you have to always understand it's also called as the Harappan civilization. Why? Because like Harappa, that's in the Lakhana district of Punjab, modern day Punjab, Pakistan, is also considered as one of the important centers, or it is kind of a twin capital, because Harappa is also there, Mohenjo-daro is also there. Mohenjo-daro literally means the Mount of Dead. So in Harappa around regions we find a lot of sites. In Mohenjo-daro we also do find a lot of other sites. So this great bath, as I have said, is also used for many times religious ablutions. So when it comes to the religion, what you find is religion was more or less like a utilitarian thing. It was more like a private affair. The religion was, there was no kind of a religious discrimination which was prevalent in the society. But at the same time, society also, it was not a purely egalitarian society, because what you find is you find the people of the higher strata and also the people of the lower strata, because you have the citadel area and also the lower town. So in the citadel area you find the people of the higher category residing, and the lower town you find the normal people. And next we look into the Indus Valley. You have to see, as I told you, it's an urban civilization. They had trade relations. We had even Indus Valley seals that has been found in places like Bahrain, and in the Middle Eastern regions also they had built ships, and they used to have travel and trading contacts were there. From the Mesopotamian records and all, we do find names like Meluha, where the Mesopotamian people used to get copper. That is how they called this Indus Valley people as the Meluha. And you have to understand, Indus Valley civilization was a Bronze Age civilization. Bronze is an alloy of copper as well as that of the tin. And also Indus Valley people do had scripts. Okay, you have to remember they do have scripts, and their writing style was something of little bit different, because it started from right to left, from the right it moves to the left, then from the left move to the right, so in that zigzag manner, and that writing style is known as the Boustrophedon writing style. So that was one of the reason why it was very difficult to decipher the script. Now also we had quite a few scholars like Airavatha Mahadevan, who passed away recently. They were all studying about the Indus Valley script. Many have come up with their own conclusions, and many have actually drawn a parallels between the Indus Valley script and the Gondi script used by the tribals in the central India. So, but still, there has been not such a unison and a consensus among the scholars regarding the perfect decipherment of the Indus Valley script. So, we have just in a nutshell we discussed about the Indus culture, Indus tradition, the religion, things about the Indus Valley civilization, the extent of the Indus Valley civilization. So if you look into the time period, you have to say that time period from around 2800 BC to 1750 BC. This was the time of the mature phase of the civilization. So from 1750 BC to around 1500 1600 BC, that time it kind of declined, and it was only mostly present in the coastal areas till around 1300 BC. From there you can find almost the traces getting they disappeared. And now we will see, first of all, we will see about why they kind of disappeared, and as we will also discuss some important sites of the Indus Valley civilization, and what was the cause of the disappearance, and also the ethnic constitution of the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so ethnically speaking, it was a mix. There was the Proto-Australoid group, Alpine group, Mongoloid group, all were there. Like of the Indus Valley, it was kind of a mixed group, but more of a Proto-Australoid group that is very similar to what you find in the tribes of South India today. So now when it comes to Indus Valley, what is the reason for constantly a kind of a disappearance? There has been many theories behind it. There has been theory of outside invasion, there has been theories of long drawn epidemics, but the thing that is been accepted mostly is partly due to major factor was the climate change. Because during that time, if you remember, it is also known as the Indus Saraswati civilization. If you remember in the last class I had said, like, Saraswati river as it is found earlier, it doesn't exist today. Now it is only there in the streams. It's called Gagarhaka, right? Because it's not so present day Thar desert and those areas and the close to the Indus Valley region was getting a part of a monsoon that used to be there in the western coast at that point of time. We are talking about around 4,000 years ago. So slightly it changed. Climate change resulted in repeated flooding in areas of Mohenjo-daro. We do have archaeological evidences for that. And then what happened? So once the climate change happened, Indus Valley people were adept in using water. They used channels for irrigation, and specifically used dams for irrigation. And during those times when this water availability and the climate change got disturbed, this regarding in the like decolonization of the cities, you can see the cities becoming like ghost towns and people degrading back into the villages. So that was a very important factor. And then what happened is, as I told you, they used to have the trade linkages with the Mesopotamian civilization. That is very evident in the seals like that of the Gilgamesh seal, where you can find even a man fighting two tigers kind of thing. So you can, then what happened is, basically there has been very much evidences of warlike tribes arriving in the Central Asia and kind of the trade routes getting blocked. So the climate change along with the trade routes getting blocked in the landway. So only what way there they could have traded is from the coastal areas, especially during in the areas like Lothal and all in Gujarat. You have evidences of dockyard and all. So in those areas, the civilization kind of continued till 1300 BC, and from the rest of the areas, it kind of disappeared. So that is the reason why. So Indus Valley civilization, a great civilization, which is much bigger than the Mesopotamian civilization, and one of the most grandest civilizations, where, because even now also Indus Valley is known for its town planning, the vertical and horizontal, the right angle, the way the streets were there. And also if I remember in 2014 in UPSC means, there was a question based on the drainage system of Indus Valley, because at that time even there was a flood-like situation in the Noida and the NCR region, and the people were kind of difficulty in finding way to manage the flood. There were articles based on Indus Valley civilization, how the drainage system of Indus Valley civilization was much better. So this civilization was a great civilization which knew how to use the water very well, right? And also you can see one thing we missed out is about the religion. Religion by partly discussed, religion and the society is kind of a, we have evidences of matriarchal society, you have the evidences of mother goddess worship is there, that was very much there. And the script, as I've told you, it's a pictographic script. They use kind of bow-stroke and writing style. And the burial practices of Indus Valley people is a kind of the mix of what you find in the Central Asia and also in South Asia, because there is a coffin burial which we find in the Muslims and Muslims or Jews and Christians, and also there is the urn burial where the sacred ash is used. That is very much used in Hindus right now. And also there is a fractional burial where the dead body is kept in a place and it could be eaten by the vultures, that is present in the Parsi community at present. Also there is evidences of like joint burial where husband and wife kind of people, couple got buried. And you can see if you go to Delhi National Museum, you can see the certain things are there. And also even in the burial chambers, what you find is basically the items of daily uses are also kept in the burial chambers. That means there has been always a thought process about the life after death also. So that concept was also there in Indus Valley. And also when it comes to the animals, they knew about, there is we get a lot of things about the from the seals, because Indus Valley people never used kind of coins and all. Instead they used seals, which were even worn as lockets by the merchants, and when they used to have a trade agreement getting signed off, they use the seals to actually mark it. So from the seals you have evidences about the bulls, you have evidences about the rhino, and you have even evidences about unicorn, where it is a single horned mythical animal. But even scholars like Romila Thapar have opined that it could be a kind of a rhino, not exactly a unicorn, but still for academic purposes you can say that it's a kind of a unicorn seal. And also one thing that they were not much, like there has been question, so like Indus Valley people, were they aware about horse? Yes, they were aware about the horse, because horse bones were found in places of Gujarat and all, but it is not widely used. Horses were not widely used in Indus Valley because horses came with the arrival of Aryans from the Central Asia. So that happened much later. So this is in a nutshell about the Indus Valley. And if you look into certain important sites, you have to look into the Mohenjo-daro, you have the Harappa, you have places like Lothal, where is the dockyard is found. You have places like Kalibangan, where you have the fire altar what found in Haryana and Rakhi Garhi area. You have the evidences of great granaries are there in Rakhi Garhi, and also in Gujarat there is Surkotada and places like that where the horse bone remains are found. So Gujarat you have yeah, Lothal is there, Surkotada is there, Dholavira is there. Dholavira is also famous for one thing, there is traffic inscriptions. Dholavira is famous for traffic inscriptions. So we are deducing it is a traffic inscription because basically you find two wheels in that traffic inscriptions. And as I told you, this Indus Valley script is pictographic. And Rangpur, you have find the rice husk you have found from the Rangpur. So Indus Valley people grew also cotton because they were also part of the Deccan Peninsula slightly, so they knew how to grow cotton. They used wheat, they used rice, barley, etc. And yeah, it was not an Iron Age civilization. Be very careful. So it was not an Iron Age civilization. It was a Bronze Age civilization. So this is what in a nutshell that's Indus Valley. So in a very small amount of time I have discussed basically about the Indus Valley civilization and its important features. So in the next session we will try to discuss a few questions as well, and also we will continue our discussion with the Vedic period, starting from the early Vedic period. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe it, and stay tuned for more videos regarding the history lecture series. Thank you. Have a great day.